oh well, formerly of Kansas City, and he was trying to buy up media rights to a company or something, a movie making company. Yeah, he was trying to expand his business. Century Media. There was an entertainment vacancy.
All right.
Also, apparently,
go ahead and kill the music while you guys are talking. Feel free.
okay.
So yeah, just want to bring us on live and get the game on the road here. Welcome back. It has been an interesting 2 weeks, to say the least. I had a bank holiday, so I'm not going to complain. So it's been a little bit shorter. And I'm digging Rachel's hair with the background lighting. It's like totally appropriate. Looks cool.
Thanks.
You are welcome. But then again, Rachel does all kinds of stuff with her hair, so.
I do too.
You accessorize. That's what it is. With caps.
Yes.
Also, don't forget, guys. I made us a character directory.
Right.
Oh yeah, you did that on Google Drive. So it was okay. Cool. Yeah, you guys will have access to that. So please update that too, with like your notes or something or anything that you want to make sure to share or get that down.
But again, don't put your character's secrets if you don't want us to know your secrets. Save that for later.
And as a word of advice, if you're updating it, maybe put your name or your character name or something next to it, so that way, if somebody needs to follow up with you, they know.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, theoretically, like when you describe what a character or like who a character is, you would probably say like their association with one of the player characters, and so we would know, oh, I need to ask Rachel about this.
Well, no, I meant like if, like say for example, you have a bunch of notes up there, but then Rachel puts down dark guy in trench coat. That doesn't really indicate it came from her or who actually put that. So you have to throw it out there. Okay, who said dark guy with trench coat? Why was he important?
Put your name next to your note then.
Yeah.
That works.
If for no other reason, then it just makes it a little bit easier to recall. So, but I think we were doing a recap, right? Did you want to continue there, George, to catch Rachel up?
I think we pretty much caught up with everything. But I can do it again.
I don't have to.
We did it sort of off the air.
Oh no, yeah, you don't have to. I just want to make sure you guys were up to date as it was.
Yeah. So as far as I know, Benedict is kind of at the surface personality for Remus at the moment. Yep, and Adam is like basically figure this shit out yourself. And apparently there's another personality that's kind of peeking through too. So he's collecting personalities right now. I think that's it, right? Just that's the bulk of it.
So we also
and new prince is in town. There's another former prince is in town.
Former prince, yes.
And he was visiting just to like have some like business deals, but then he said he was going to leave, and we pretty much just let him know that
he was welcome.
Yeah.
He was not welcome.
Yeah, we told him like, yeah, you kind of got to show up and like let people, you kind of got to give us some sort of like notice.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh well, he essentially was like, oh well, I didn't know because you guys didn't really tell anybody. So, or he essentially was saying like, maybe you guys should put up a sign or do something about it.
Which is a good idea, to be honest. We should. If we're going to maintain some sort of dominance over the city, we need to put rules in place for people who are coming in or passing through. Like, announce yourself,
Yeah.
Or put plans into place so that way you can, accommodate those who probably don't know. Because a lot of people probably aren't. Especially anarchs come walking in. You guys have a little bit different of a setup than the typical anarch domain. And anarchs are probably going to be your primary audience.
Mm-hmm. So we should put out like a word of mouth or something.
I think the bigger issue is that he had heard that Cam were not welcome, and he came anyway.
Well, I think it's more of like every time somebody just shows up, they're just like, "Hey, I'm here. Deal with it." And we're kind of just like,
we're not going to deal with it anymore.
Well, not anymore, but like up to this point, it's like, "Hey, werewolves are in your town. Hey, deal with it." Oh, look, there's a Sabbat in town. Oh, deal with it.
We have.
So should we insert Twisted Sister right here? Because you're not going to take it.
But
I'm-
We're not gonna take it.
Yeah, we shouldn't take it.
Man, I want to watch Rock of Ages now.
Oh, such a good film.
I know.
Love
I
that
love
movie.
it.
So, with that brief catch up, it's been 2 nights since we last played. So it's been a couple nights. Everybody at this point, since we're gonna update for blood. So go ahead and erase 1 blood point from your character sheet. In addition, you will erase an additional blood point for any feeding restrictions that you might have. And you will also subtract a blood point for every ghoul that you have.
okay.
My normal 4.
Jerome, I have a question. Do I have a feeding restriction
Yes,
now?
you do.
Oh, man.
You figure out what it is. Oh, I remember what it is.
Yep.
So I'm trying to find because I haven't done blood on this new sheet, but I have
Oh,
blood from
there
my
you go.
last sheet.
We had +7 XP last week.
Yes,
Okay.
I just found that out.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, because we had a birthday last time.
Indeed.
I need to spend XP, man.
I bought animalism a few weeks ago.
Well, so long as you don't get into any contests or roles, if you want to review your character and like make XP spends up to that point, I'm fine. But if we enter combat or you have to get into a situation where you're contesting something, at that point all bets are off. No XP spends.
Can't buy stuff while you're in battle?
No, I know.
Next, you're going to tell me I can't
When?
switch out my armor in battle either.
This is Skyrim rules, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah. You know what? I totally forgot about that. I apologize.
I can pause to go into my inventory and drink some potions.
Yep.
So Jerome, it's a blood per night, and then another blood for feeding restrictions.
For any feeding restrictions you have, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
it's 2
Now-
nights.
So now keep in mind, your feeding restriction is specific to a type, not you won't prey upon this. There's a big difference. The usual flaw that most everybody can take is a prey exclusion, which it's very common for people playing a Camarilla Anarch game. They'll say, I don't want to feed from kids. That's almost a gimme. So they're like, okay, it's a free 1 point. So that means you'll never feed from kids. And if you're forced to feed from kids, you won't get anything. You won't get any sustenance from it. You, however, have the version of the Ventru prey exclusion, which means you will only feed from that type.
That still counts as taking a point off for exclusion, right?
Yeah, it still operates the same way for, like, beginning of game blood expenditures. Just note
Oh,
that you can only get sustenance from this one type.
okay, and my type is pretty people, right?
Pretty women.
Walking down the street.
Yes. The kind you would like to meet.
Eat.
And you certainly
Oh,
and you
pretty
certainly have the
woman.
abilities to make that happen now.
Not now that I shower.
Now that he has a fancy suit, I was going to say.
Okay.
So in the 2 nights, Henry has been away from the group haven. He showed up like once for miscellaneous stuff as usual, probably to work on the pool house a little bit to make it more to his taste when he was there. For the most part, the only 2 that have been there have been Damaris and Remus.
Remedict.
And Remus's butler,
Jeeves.
Jeeves. So the house is unusually clean, tidy,
Furnished.
fully furnished, yes.
That's new.
But yeah, I don't know if you guys told Rachel that. Yeah, the house is furnished, all new. Now it's not all like top notch stuff. There's some IKEA grabs here, but everything is new. So it's not like anything secondhand or grabbed off Facebook Marketplace, or somebody got went outside and collected a 5-finger discount sort of thing. All of it was like purchased and brought in. And assembled. And so there are some art pieces here. There's a nice TV. There's a stereo setup here now. There's a nice legitimate couch with a couple tables. I think you were there for that stream when I talked about the addition to the fridge.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, okay.
The whole blood and
Yes.
dispenser, which I think is so cool.
Yes. So that special modification is there. And so when you wake up, the next night, for whatever had been, for whatever time you slept, which neither one of you have like deep sleep or anything, right?
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
That would have probably killed me when we got attacked in my haven.
Yeah, I would have actually. Now that I think of it, yeah.
It's kind of annoying sometimes, says Sophie.
Is Sophie a deep sleeper?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
So Remus, the only thing of note for you is when you wake, there's a knock at your door.
Okay.
Do you answer it? Do you call?
Yeah.
You're kind of getting used to it. Jeeves has your sleeping habits down almost to a T at this point.
Okay.
He knows within a couple minutes when you seem to be ready for the evening. So it's like, he'll like rap on the door to see if there's something needed.
Okay. Does it sound like his usual rapping?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll say yes.
Package for you, sir.
Who's it from?
From you?
All right. I'll
It would seem this is a tailor from Italy.
do I know what this is? Like, have I ordered this?
You know what? Since you're pretty lucid, why don't you go ahead and give me an intelligence and alertness check?
Okay. And okay, that's a fail. Nothing.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah. So you're just like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
you actually have no clue. Another mystery.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go and open the door. How big is this box or this package?
It is coat sized. Maybe a little bit bigger.
Okay. I'll take it from him and say, thank you, Jeeves. Let's open this in the living room.
Very good, sir.
Yeah.
So he goes and gets like a brush and something like a clothing brush, and then gets like a packing knife or something to open the box for you. He doesn't let you do it.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm not going to spend blood to extend my fingernails and open them up.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I'll wait for him to get the knife, and then we'll open this thing up.
Okay. So he pulls it open, and it is a sealed. It's a sealed bag, garment bag specifically.
Okay.
And of course, it's got all the the bubble packaging and whatnot to make sure that it all stays in place.
Okay. Yeah, I'll carefully open the bag.
Okay, so yeah, you just pull it out of the plastic over the bag, unzip the bag itself. It is a very fine, tailored suit, specifically to your measurements.
Okay. I'm gonna check the pockets.
It's almost a deep bronze like color with gold highlights.
Moving on up. I'm going to is there any sort of message? Like, is there a receipt?
Yeah,
Is
there's a receipt.
there
Mhm.
okay? And it just says that I ordered this.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. There's no like special, like you could sometimes put like a gift message or
Oh
like
yeah,
a
no, nothing like that. It's just literally the receipt of your purchase and when it was put through and just a recap of what you put in there. And it's just your measurements and what you just retyped, like what your measurements were. The only thing that stands out about it is that it come, which this, you don't know how, you're assuming it's because of the other information that has leaked into your brain pan at this point. But it is a very ritzy tailor in Italy, and you had it custom made.
so this was expensive.
Yes.
Probably
Yeah,
at least
the price tag looks like it came out to about 10,000 American dollars.
Oh my god. Okay. Um
Well, I mean, it's the finest of thread. Like when you pull it open, it has that super new suit smell, like a new book sort of thing, but like a new suit, and it's just like, oh my. It would be
Okay.
like having its own personal fine cologne attached to it temporarily.
and it's a jean jacket from Levi's, right?
Yeah, of course, it is a jean
Okay.
jacket. No, it's not a jean jacket.
And it's got the bedazzled like unicorn on the back.
but they're diamonds.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but they're diamonds.
Damien Hirst style. Nice, I like it. Yeah. If there's no obvious traps, I think I'm gonna go and try this thing on.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll say
You
that
have
was,
never had anything that has fit you so well, ever.
okay.
And,
How
and,
good do I
and
look?
this was that, and this is even after that time you had those skin tight clothing on. This like it fits your curves, it fits your musculature, your size, everything to the T.
Okay. I need to ask. So, like, who's at the wheel here? Is it Remus
It's
Remus, or
Remus.
is it like it's Remus Remus?
It's Remus, yeah.
Okay, okay. I wasn't sure if I had been Benedict this whole time.
Oh no.
No, okay. So Remus has resurfaced.
Yeah, you don't have any sort of like nightmare flaws or anything traumatic that would cause that to possibly change prior to waking for the evening.
Okay, I guess because like I've been kind of like, are we a fusion, or is it like it's just one person is driving at a time? Okay. All right. So in that case, I
Well,
think
I mean,
Remus.
Remus has some of his tastes, so there's a little bit of a difference. It's not like the old Remus. You know,
Okay.
you can't help that part, but otherwise, it's
Yeah.
you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So Remus probably like while appreciating it is probably not super used to just having uh clothing that's probably more expensive than all the things he's ever owned up to this point combined.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I guess I'll just give this suit like a trial run and just go about my day. I'll ask Jeeves. Jeeves, what do we have on the schedule today? Anything important?
And so he looks down at like his phone, and he's going over like a planner, and he says, "Oh yes, there was an invitation from a Mr. Velanese who was extended to all of you. I believe there is a meeting set at the Willow House later on for this evening. Private engagement."
Meeting at the Willow House. Okay. Um, so this arrived just in time then. Uh, Probably on purpose. Okay. I will prepare to head out to that meeting. Jeeves, once I leave, if you want to take the rest of the night off, I think that would be. I think you've earned yourself a break.
Oh, well, very good, sir. You have my number. Should anything come up, just let me know.
Okay, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Um, I'll head to the I'll head back to my room and I'll pull up my phone and I'll text the group. Um, just say like uh Remus here. Period. Are we going to the Willow House? Question mark.
And as you send that text, there's a knock at Damaris's door.
How your
She'll
fancy
look
suit
up
arrives.
she'll look up from her like whatever journal she's probably like making notes in or something.
Okay.
Who is it?
It's Jeeves, ma'am.
Oh, come in.
So he opens the door slowly and he says, um, Mr. Remus has given me the rest of the night off. However, I wanted to let you know I took the liberty of double checking some of those locations that you were investigating for a potential home. I've made my recommendations and I've left them in the kitchen for you.
Wow, way to go above and beyond. Thanks. All right, I'll go down and take a look at it. Thank you very much.
So he just bows politely and he steps out from your doorway and walks away.
She'll put her stuff away and basically just kind of make her way down. She's a little paranoid right now because she knows what's happening to Remus. So she is looking at her door and looking both ways first.
Okay.
And then kind of just slowly making her way downstairs to the kitchen.
Okay.
And she's gonna grab a whatever fridge drink there is for blood. For like a point or something.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Oh, I should have done that too.
So as you were doing that and just getting used to the whole like, oh, this is kind of cool, and put a glass on it.
Dude, it's awesome.
I've got it on tap. Yay. You end up seeing Cuddles walk by, and Cuddles actually has a phone shoved under his collar that he's carrying around with him.
I'm gonna do speak with animals.
Okay.
Cuddles, who in the world would you be talking to?
Oh, well, good morning, Damaris. Of course, I would speak to my mother.
Your mother?
Sophie?
Like, oh, I didn't realize you considered her mother. Okay.
Well, what would I consider her?
Your friend, your partner, your
Oh, heavens no, she already has a
savior.
partner. I suppose I could try to be more friendly in nature, but no, I do believe she's more of a mother figure to me.
Oh, hey, whatever floats your boat. Okay. And she's just gonna turn around and go to the page.
Yeah, he goes and
She's
he
not
goes
even gonna
and
bother.
with just one swipe of his hand, knocks down one of the cans and takes it up in his mouth and goes to pop it open someplace nearby.
I want to say this is weird, but it's not. So
Who gave the cat
she's
a
gonna say
phone?
that out loud. Like I want to say that looks weird, but I really can't say. I've seen weirder shit. So, all right. So she'll go to the papers and look at the information that he brought back.
Okay. Basically, what he did is he printed up like the real estate listings. And he took a pen and just wrote down like some recommendations of like, okay, well, it's X amount of size, and then based upon the price and whatnot. So it looks like he may have been a realtor at some point in time. So he breaks it down like per square footage too. So like, okay, well, it's worth X amount. It's asking for this, suggested to suggested price of this if you're haggling. And then then there's a couple addresses written down that are probably comparable. Like he probably ran like tax evaluations on them or something.
That's like way more complicated than she thought it was going to be. So a lot of it's going to be like location, to be honest with you, she wants it to be more so like on the outskirts of town,
Mm-hmm.
or not outskirts of town, but just something that's away from people. Like country land. That's like her thing.
Sure.
Um,
Then one of the
so-
suggestions he had was actually an available ranch. It's on the small side, but it's on
It's
it's
just
on
her,
the
so.
it's on the south side of town.
Nice. Okay. All right, so she'll probably check out that one first, to be honest, later on.
Okay.
So at that point, she's just gonna kind of sit there at the kitchen, just kind of like studying it and waiting for other people to maybe show up.
Sure.
She
Okay.
doesn't have anything else to do.
And everybody's phone kind of chimes bloop, with the text message.
Okay, she pulls it up. Who's it from?
From Remus.
I'm gonna look to like the other room or just some other vague part of the house. Like, what? What does it say?
It was what he indicated. It talking about a meeting tonight.
Yeah, at the Willow House. Or are we going?
Oh.
And then I think I put like Remus here.
She's gonna yell out of the kitchen, up the stairs. She's like, I don't know if we're going. It's the first I've heard of it.
I'll text back. First time hearing of it too. I just reemerged, and I'm gonna also like leave because I probably need to get a drink because that extra blood thing at night is that's gonna add up. So I'm gonna go to the kitchen and I'm assuming there's something that I can eat in there.
Oh yeah, you were the one that paid for this modification, so yes, your needs were prioritized.
Oh God. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go and go and get a drink.
Sure. And this is an unfamiliar feeling to you. You instinctively know what you can and can't feed off of. Usually by like wine, like you would sniff the cork or something like that, in very similar fashion.
Yeah. So like I've got like a wine glass, I'm like swirling it around, nosing it.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing this in the kitchen?
Yeah. I'm probably just like absent-mindedly. I like to think that when Remus is in the driver's seat, his posture is much more hunched. He's more like Clark Kent as opposed to like Superman. So I imagine Benedict's much more like
Probably upright,
upright. Yeah. Whereas like Remus
authoritative.
is much more just like defeated and tired. So
So is he actually getting the wine glass and like swirling it around,
Yeah.
or?
It's like,
Oh,
God.
is the bouquet to your liking?
What? Oh. Apparently this is all I could drink now.
Mm.
I wasn't expecting the taste to change.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah.
And she's just staring at you like she knows what's underneath that surface.
Yeah. I think if he picks up that you're kind of glaring at him, he's gonna go, okay, I think I'll probably head back to my room then. If you have any advice on how I can manage this, it would be greatly appreciated because Adam wasn't helpful at all.
I'll do some research and I'll ask around. Because frankly, it makes me uncomfortable too that you're collecting personalities.
I mean, I didn't want this at all.
I know you didn't.
I
It's a result of a moment of passion. The wrong kind of passion.
Well, but like I don't even remember doing it. That's the thing. Like it's just like it's all Adam's fault, and I'm really regretting putting my trust in him because now
he's my grandsire, and he's been around a while. I don't think that honestly he would make you do something that wouldn't be for your benefit. I think things happen for a reason, and I think that you need to learn from this and you need to figure it out, and I think you can. He would have eaten you by now if he didn't think that you had potential.
Yeah, but if he thinks I have potential, then why isn't he helping me? Why isn't he just
Because
like
sometimes you got to just throw the kid in the water and make him learn how to swim the hard way.
okay, but what if the kid drowns? Like, doesn't that make you a
And
bad
you weren't
parent?
strong enough to survive.
To me, I think that speaks more to a bad parent than a weak child. But
I think it could be a combination of both, but I don't think you're a weak child. I just think that you just need to learn to sink or swim, and you're gonna swim.
I mean, with the current is apparently ordering fancy Italian suits and pulling me underwater. Uh, Swimming in shark-infested waters is going to be difficult. But
Well, you'll look sharp while you do it then.
at least there's that. Uh, I
Don't
guess
worry,
I'm
Remus. You'll get it. You'll get through it. It's gonna be hard for you most of all, but I'll do what I can. I'll look into it a little bit more. It's not my area of expertise, but I do know some people. So
yeah, I appreciate it because I'm kind of walking in the dark here. But hey, at least while it lasts, we got a butler. That's pretty cool.
yeah, I'll say he like found a bunch of cool stuff for me too. So don't get rid of him. I don't care if
Well,
Benedict goes, but he needs to stay.
uh, yeah, maybe I'll I'll sneak into the bank account and I'll buy him for another 10 years. Maybe there's some money for that.
I mean, maybe there's also money for my new property too. I mean, I'm just saying.
How much is it?
Glances down. What figure does she see? Like what?
Well,
Couple hundred
the
thousand,
ranch,
something.
the
Ranch.
ranch was $1.5 million.
Okay, yeah, she can't afford that.
Do I have that money?
You want to look at your character sheet and ask me again?
Listen, I've never played a vampire that had this much in resources, so I don't know.
Well, I'll let you know that a 4 makes you a millionaire.
Wait,
Okay.
really?
Yes.
Then I can afford that. Never mind.
Yeah, that's not what the internet said.
Really?
Good to know. I'll take it.
Well, keep in mind though too, the internet can be a varying. It varies widely from, like if you're looking up rules or whatnot. It could have been second edition rules that you saw. It could have been somebody's game site where they wanted to play it differently. I've run into that quite a bit.
That's true. That's
And the only way to really know is to kind of played those editions and oh okay, you kind of already knew.
maybe I should check that actual book and see what it says.
Yeah, don't worry, Remus. I'm just only half screwing with you. I can afford it, technically.
I mean, whenever I'm at the wheel, let me know if that. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with all this stuff. I guess I should just go and donate to a bunch of charities right now so I can feel better about what he's doing to me. But
You need to do that.
yeah, I think I'm gonna go do that and then see if like my hands
It won't
like
ease your conscience. I promise.
it
Spend it on
won't.
better things.
I mean, it'll make Remus feel better. Like I'm worried that I'm turning into a monster and that my mom would be ashamed of me. But well,
Is she still alive?
no.
Then I think you're fine.
Uh, I don't quite see it that way.
Hmm.
But
Well, I guess as you grow and get older and I don't know, you get bored of some things and you just become desensitized to others. So you'll get there. She just kind of smiles begrudgingly.
did that happen to you?
Yeah, I've been around for a while. I've learned a lot and I'm still learning. You won't ever stop. So just think of this period that you're going through as a learning experience. You'll get through it. And you probably will do some things that you won't like. I'm sure you've already done some things that you won't like, but you'll get through it.
I think I was. Yeah. Well. Okay. Yeah, thanks for the advice.
You're welcome. When did I become a life coach? I have no idea.
It's the hair.
When
Life coach.
well, it's because
All the dreads.
because the last
Mhm.
time I went to go ask Grandpa for advice, he poked me on the forehead, and I'm waking up 2 days later with more stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, but all right, I'm gonna go have Jeeves clean my fingernails. I'll talk to you later.
You already gave him the night
Except
off.
her nails for a second there,
Yeah.
and she just kind of hides them for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was mainly joking of like,
Oh.
the decadence. But yeah, I'll go to the computer and I'm gonna go and donate a bunch of money to charities and stuff, and I'm gonna see if like the Fight Club, like the split personality, is like coming and trying to stop me.
Okay. So I'll get to that in a second. So, Henry, you have risen for the evening. And within moments of getting rid of your bedtime clientele, because you're getting used to having the other person around the house at this point, so you're kind of keeping your more secret notions to yourself, and the timing has gotten a lot better. But shortly after you get up, you end up seeing that Robert and Zach were right in the middle of, well, mostly Zach, were right in the middle of working on a leather project.
Oh, yeah. I would want to go downstairs and check to see what he's doing downstairs in the basement and the workroom. So
Yeah, sure.
He was supposed to show me some examples of the pouches and the belts that he could make, because that's all he knows how to do right now.
Mhm.
And so, if I'd had 2 days, I would like to have taught him the beginning of how to make boots.
Sure.
So
he's probably got a practice one that he's been working on. But at this point, he's completed a sporin, and he's finished up a purse
okay.
for you to, inspect. So you can see like kind of where he's at skill wise. And
Alright.
he did take some time to press the leather, so it's got some design in it. I mean, it's not professional grade. It's not like what you're used to, but it's definitely not starter level either.
Okay. So he's got some tooling on there and everything. So, how is it? How is his work?
The design portion of it could probably use some help. As far as the object itself, it's solid.
All right. So I'm gonna make Zachary. So come show me what you have.
Like, oh, all right, man. Yeah, hang on. So he goes and grabs the two things real quick, and he's like, okay, so I made a sporin. I didn't get like rabbit's feet or anything for it just yet. I don't have like the chain to go with it. But the sporin piece itself is good. It's got like the latch in the back, so you can loop it through a belt or the chains if need be. And then although I'm not a woman, I made a purse.
No,
Or slash book bag, I guess. You could kind of make it unisex.
no, you said you'd know how to make the pouches and the purses. That's fine. I want to see. So let me see the pouch. No. Let us start with the belt. So, the structure is rudimentary. You have done well here. This design work. Did you teach yourself how to do this design work on here?
I was showed, and then I have a couple little press tools that I picked up at like a leather store and whatnot.
All right. So this is the design. It's how you say. I would say maybe 2 steps above shit. It's to do some work. Practice is what it will take. But the belt itself is very well made. It was very practical. So you have done well with this. We need to work on the design work itself, so that if we're going to sell them at a higher dollar value, they must look to be more attractive.
Okay, all right, I can work on that. Do you have like any tutorials or something I can look at while you're asleep, so I can like fiddle with it or whatnot?
I'm going to give him a couple names of people that I've read like over the years that might have videos or something like that. Just names in leatherworking I might have heard of, and
Okay.
so
Sure.
whether they have videos, I don't know. So I'm just gonna say like there's this gentleman. He made, I don't know if he's still around or if someone made these videos of him or where you can go for them. Um, but I do not know. And this even how to make the videos. I have not made the videos. My training was done so long ago. It was all word of mouth and showing in technique. The way I showed you how to make the boots. So let me see this purse. All right. So
So he shows it to you. It's loose, so it's not like all stiff and whatnot like leather sometimes gets.
this is nice with the looseness, the suppleness of the leather is very nice. This would be very attractive for a lady. Um, it's you have distinguished that it is a purse and not a bag or a satchel, because a satchel would have to be harder material or stiffer leather. So you have done well with that. What is this latch? How is this latch work on this purse? Explain this to me.
Well, metalworking really isn't kind of my thing just yet, so I just went and got like a toggle to put on it. So it just kind of turns.
The toggle is nice. It's all right. It's practical again, but again, if we're going to sell this to a lady, it has to not look like shit. So you have to understand it.
Yeah, I got it. I got to get better with that stuff. I know. I'll work on it.
It takes practice. My best recommendation with latches: get a large piece of leather and just make latches. Don't make multiple purses. Practice on just making the latch, and then when you master that, then take that experience back to the purse.
Okay. You got enough stuff for me to do that? I don't want to like burn through leather. Just burn through leather.
We have plenty of leather. That
Okay.
is, Miss Trudy has provided us with some materials and some resources. I'll need to speak to her soon because we are spending more than we are not taking any income in at this point. I do not know how this works with her. So and my side affairs, I have not made much money on the side. So I have to speak to Miss Trudy to see how this will all work. It's I mean, even rent at this point is going to become difficult unless we have some sort of income other than my side jobs. So
Okay. Well, I'll knuckle down, boss. I'll get better.
no, and I appreciate it. So we'll talk later. I want to speak to you about just lifestyle and lifespan and things like that. Where are you going with what are your future plans? Are you planning to be the bachelor forever? Do you even care about that kind of thing? Or are you
I didn't know I'd be talking about like a love life.
it's I just
I
want
mean,
to
I'm
know
on plenty of fish.
I do not know the fish. I don't like the fish anymore.
No, it's a dating website. It's like
Oh.
it's like OkCupid. I think it's actually kind of owned by the same company. And
I
like
have
Tinder.
absolutely no idea what you're speaking of here, Zachary. This is outside of my realm. I do not date. I am very focused on the art. So my your number one passion, if I'm going to train you, it needs to be the leatherworking. If you want to have your horse on the side, that is fine. As far as dating, I don't know. I mean, do not bring your horse back here. You can
I'm not like gonna bring sex workers here, dude. That's like, I don't know, kind of uncomfortable.
No, so go where you need to go. You are a welcome member of this. This is your living establishment. I would not call it your home per se, but it is where you are living at this moment. But what you do outside of here, as long as it does not, what you do outside of here does reflect back to where we are here. So this is something we talked about, illegal activities, that you do not do anything illegal, for I do not want the law to want to be investigating you here.
Yeah. So it's illegal to get a hooker?
Well, this is I don't know
Not
how.
that I would bring one back here, but dude.
No, it's okay. And within the United States, it is confusing. In some states, the prostitutes are legal and it's okay. In some states, the law enforcement, they turn an eye to what you're doing. And I don't understand which state is okay to do and which. So it's just better just not to do that at all. I mean, if we were in France, it'd be different. It's a legitimate, it's a business. I understand there are places here within the United States that have the same business, but I do not know if that is acceptable within here in Oregon. That might be a conversation you have with Robert. So I do not know.
All right, man.
But your first passion needs to be for the art, for the leather. I have a more than a lifetime experience to share with you to make you a master craftsman.
Okay.
And so I do not want you going too bit easy that she gets pregnant and suddenly you and this little girl are going off some direction at that point. I want to make sure that I am training you and you are here, so.
Oh, yeah, dude, I'm like so not looking to knock somebody up. That would be super awkward.
So yes, if you want to go,
like, what would the kids look like?
That's fine. That is your business. Just again, do not bring that back here and let that distract you from your business.
Okay, yeah, man. I think we're simpatico.
Okay, so specifically, I would take the larger piece of leather, in the corner over there, and I would say to work on the latch work, and to work on some design work within that leather piece itself, so that we are not wasting the leather. So you can use multiple tasking upon the same piece of leather. So you may want to talk to Robert about looking at the videos that you're speaking of. I have no idea how to do such action. I know my intelligent phone might be able to do something like that. And I think you might have an intelligent phone as well that could do that.
Yeah. Robert got me one.
All right. So this is, you can use for the phone for that. We do not have a computer in the house. So, I think the phones are enough technology for the house as it is. So, I don't know if you can rent or buy the videos to watch upon our TV, but we do have the TV in the room. So
no, I'll figure that part out.
All right.
And I'll make use of the leather.
All right. So yes, to work, and I appreciate you working your time schedule to work with me so that we can spend time together. It has been a couple days. I've seen my friends. I think I would like to maybe see what they are doing, and I might go out this evening. So, but I shall return.
Oh yeah, Robert mentioned that you had like a message or something waiting for him.
Oh, then I shall track down Robert and see what's going on with that. Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem, dude. I'll get right to it.
And I sorry, we have spoken of this before. What is why do you call me as a dude? I don't understand you.
Oh, it's dude. Like almost everything could be dude. Like fuck this dude, or she's a dude, that's a dude. Kind of like a universal phrase. It's a California thing.
All right, I will. So I am not going to be calling you dude. Okay, it just sounds.
Oh no, it's okay. You don't have to call me dude. I am one, but you don't have to call me one.
Okay, as long as I do not have to call you as a dude.
No, of course not.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Zach, you be free within the basement, what you need to do. I'm going to speak with Robert and see what's the messages that I have. So, Ashante, have a good day.
All right, dude. Have a good one.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go head upstairs, go see what Robert's like. Robert, where are you?
Okay. So Robert is just upstairs. He just happened to be. He was standing, but he was watching TV.
I missed you, Robert, as I walked downstairs to check on Zachary. He mentioned that there is a message for me.
Yeah, your phone just went off like not too long ago. I didn't look at it.
In my room, it does these beeps and boops when I leave it in my room with me. So I thank you that you have not that it is out here. It's just, but when it is in the room with me, it sometimes buzzes and it beeps, and I just do not like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can change that if you want. Keep it to like make it go silent or just buzz or something like that. But I just saw the an opening blurb, and I think it came from that Remus guy.
Oh, Remus! Let's see what he wants. Thank you very much. I open the phone, and I'm like, just trying to find where the messages are again, and I'm like,
yep.
Merit. I found it. It's right here. To move the screen a couple of times. So messages, Remus, Willow House. Robert, have I mentioned Willow House to you? I do not. It does not sound familiar.
Yeah, that was that former club and art house thing. It was actually just down the street from the place that you were going to try and set up shop for art.
Oh, the Willow House. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just there's so much.
It's the art district, I think, is what they called it.
Right, I liked it very much. This is okay. So I will actually reply to Remus. Okay, so and Damaris is saying something as what? No, he not Damaris. Sorry, he's replying back again. He's having a conversation with himself in this. This it appears. He says something about Willow House, and then he's replying to himself about it was something new to him as well. Why is he having a conversation with himself?
Good question. I don't know. Maybe somebody muted you, so you can't see the reply.
This is something you can do
in the chat. Yes.
Okay. I will not. I will say hold on. Enchanté, my friends, and the family. Aha. So hey, it's I am rested, and my apprentice is taken care of. I am just going to stretch my legs for a bit. I need to feed. And then after feeding, am I going to meet you at the New Haven, or shall I go out to the Willow House by myself? Would anybody need transportation going there? I could pick someone up on the way if they need it. What else should I see? Oh, is the damn cat still at the house? I would really not like to see the cat. He is very busy. So if he is there, I would rather not go to the house. I think that is enough. Said. I'm very proud of myself.
We'll text back, are you afraid of a little pussy?
Very funny, Demaris. Afraid of a pussy. I like it. I like your they talk more words of the double meaning. Very nice. No, it's not that I'm afraid of the pussy. It is afraid that if I see the pussy, I may eat the pussy. And then Sophie will not be happy because I just don't want that cat to be around me at this point. So I think I may take, the fraction of a blood point just to drain that bastard. So that's all that is all the reason I do not want to come to the house. Send.
Pretty sure. In response, pretty sure Sophie wouldn't be happy either.
See, my realization is very true. So I understand. So I shall not come to the house. So maybe I should, if you need me to come to the house, I shall drive up and go beep beep, and you can come out to my car, or I shall just meet you at the Willow House. Should we meet at the same time, or shall I get a table for 4, the 5? How many people will be coming to this experience, this little soiree?
On how many people reply that they're going?
Yeah, I'll text that we were invited, so there might be a reservation like already made for us. We may just have to show up. Also, we have drinks in the fridge if you're thirsty. Also, the cat has a phone and is usually occupied now.
I hope the cat is not on the chat.
Did you put him in the chat? I don't know. Does he have opposable thumbs? Can he text back?
I don't. Who gave?
They have talk to text.
I don't. Why didn't you ask the cat why he has a phone?
Who gave the cat a phone? Like,
not it.
Does the phone have animalism so it translates talk to text to text for him? So.
Oh yeah, no, that's not how that would work.
That's so funny.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah. I I appreciate the offer of your blood from the refrigerator. That is something that it would take only if it is a last resort. I truly enjoy the sport of hunting and the sport of feeding, and just the warmth of the blood as I drain a human. But I do not drain. I just need maybe 3 points or just like 1/3. Or I don't need to kill someone today. It's been 3 days since I've killed someone, so I'm fine. So I just will take a little bit of blood from them.
I'm going to
TMI.
yeah, I'm gonna call Henri.
You're gonna call me?
Yeah, I'm gonna call you.
I'll be texting and somebody starts being like, "Damn it! What did I do?" It's like,
Yeah. Hey, Henri.
hello.
Hey, just so you know, we probably like we shouldn't talk about like that. That your activities like that over text. It's you know, not great.
I'm sorry. The Baron said that this is a secure, safe chat to speak in.
Oh, is it?
That's what the Baron said.
Oh, I would still be kind of careful. Like, I think I think we need to come up with like like a euphemism. Like, oh, playing croquet.
I do not like croquet.
Then it's perfect. We'll never be talking about croquet normally.
Okay. So play is a croquet. How do you? What do you do when you score a point in croquet? What is that called?
Uh, I don't know. I've never played croquet. It was just the first thing I could think of.
I mean, you use the mallet in croquet, and I can say I use my mallet very effectively. Well, I mean, just I will look. I will talk to Robert on how to research the croquet on the words to use to make it a very good spy-like conversation.
Yeah, I think this will be fun.
I will look and I will investigate. So with that, I think it's best if I just let me do my hunting. I will and I will meet you at the Willow House. It is who else is coming tonight? I understand the Baron is still not she is not acceptable or not available this evening. So who else might be coming this evening?
Have we gotten any other messages that okays from people coming?
I would imagine that Trudy that she would be there. We haven't gotten to her just yet, but I would imagine she would have replied.
Yeah, it might just be us four.
All right. Well, I mean, maybe when are we supposed to meet? Like it's from now to when? Like when is there a reservation time?
No, the optimum time is 9 p.m.
Yeah, and what time is it now?
It is 7.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So we should be on our way fairly soon. It's polite to arrive early, but yeah. You should probably go and play some croquet now while we have some time.
Okay. Does the suit that you let me wear, should I wear that this evening? Is that the most appropriate outfit?
How fancy is this restaurant? Would I know?
You have been there, yes, and it's not necessarily a restaurant. Dressing upscale is not inappropriate, however. The Willow House is a bar that had kind of like an art house in it.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, but it was in the actual art district, so it's not like your typical run of the mill, just anybody wanders in off the street and just jeans and t-shirts sort of thing. Most people in there are art aficionados, or a little bit more well-to-do, given where the bar is located.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought it was like
No, you're quite all right.
a restaurant. Okay, yeah. I'll say yeah, that should be fine.
All right.
We'll,
So, all right. I will wear the suit. and I will meet you in looking at my phone, and I guess it's about 2 hours. So I will be there.
Okay, sounds good. Take care.
You as well.
Okay, so while you guys are doing that, Trudy, you are you rise and get whatever clothing on that you wish to wear for the evening, and of course, as you exit your bedroom, Seth is there waiting for you.
Mr. Cronin?
Hello, ma'am. So you received a message while you were getting ready. It was from Mr. Velanese. Apparently, he is having a gathering for the vampires in town. I went ahead and took the liberty and RSVP'd for you.
Well, of course. What is the nature of this gathering?
He didn't say specifically, so I'd imagine it's vampire business. But it's at the Willow House.
Oh. Well, perhaps an upgrade is in order. I won't be but a moment.
Of course.
So I'll go back into my room and change from my typical boots and skirt suit.
Sure.
Into a more
boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants.
into a more, not exactly evening wear, but something a little more classy, kind of a
little more red carpet,
vintage 40s type dress.
Oh, okay, that'll work.
And then I'll come back out.
Okay. He said, I still have not heard anything from our contacts in Portland, so I would imagine that they are dealing with.
Their hands full.
Yeah, I would imagine that their hands are definitely full. The computer setup is fine.
All right.
So that is completely operational at this point. And she has taken some time to optimize the systems here. So she's found. I didn't give her full access, obviously, because that would give her access to some of your private dealings. But what I did give her access to, she has since gone over some of the spreadsheets that we have available, primarily for staff funding and whatnot. And she's found some oversights, so she's managed to save us a couple $1,000s.
Oh, excellent. She's paying herself off already. How is she doing? Is she settling in well?
She seems to be acclimating to the city rather well. I did have a conversation with her yesterday, and she happened to take your advice on the Shakespearean company that's in town. I guess she took in an afternoon show, and she rather liked it. So I believe I believe she's acclimating rather well.
Very nice. Do you think she's almost to the point where we should rope her in?
Perhaps, yes. I don't know specifically. Perhaps we should wait to see what vampire business Mr. Velanese has, because it would be, based on everything that's happening, it might be detrimental if something important popped up and then try to acclimate her to your real life.
Very well. A good judgment. Have we heard any further news out of Portland about the other business happening there?
There was a rather nasty, and he puts air quotes, gang fight at 5th and Main in Portland the other night.
Anything you think we need to worry about?
Not currently, no. So long as, obviously, the activity stays in Portland, it's not here, so I would imagine it's Portland's problem, for lack of a better term.
Well, you know what they say, good fences make good neighbors.
I've actually never heard that one, but I will make note of it.
if we can keep them out, make clear boundaries, that would
Of course.
make for more peace around the city.
I'd imagine it would.
All right, what time is this gathering?
9 p.m. It is just a little past 7 now.
All right. I will send Malcolm a note myself that via talk to text that I'm looking forward to the evening.
Okay, well, he just shoots you a quick text back and says that he has your specific arrangements accommodated for.
I'll text back. Much obliged. I know you know what I like.
He sends back a devil emoji.
And I'll leave it there. And all right, I'll go check in with Ms. Steger if she's around.
Okay. All right. Alrighty. She is actually right now. She has a big, like a big bowl of popcorn. She's currently in footy socks, sweatpants, and a Alabama Crimson Tide sweatshirt. And she happens to be watching TV at this point.
Oh, what is she watching?
She's actually watching a game.
A sports game?
Mm-hmm. For you, it's sports ball. It's just you can identify it as sports, and it contains a ball.
I'm not that old.
No, you're not. But the intricacies of most modern sports is pretty lost on you. You had other things that you were focused on.
Since I don't have anything pressing, I'm gonna sit down, not like on the couch, but like in a chair where I can be a little more formal.
Okay.
And just watch with her for a few minutes.
Okay. As you take in whatever, again, it's difficult to figure out what exactly is being played, but a group of like 5 men on either side are like lining right up against one another, and then usually 4 to 5, and then there's some in the back that seem to wander around a little bit and watch the other guys who seem to have the ball, and every so often it'll stop and then start, and like they'll try to throw the ball or they'll try to run the ball or something like that. You think they call this football, but again, it could be soccer.
They're not using their feet very much, though.
Right. And the one thing you do note, however, because of the logo that's actually on her sweatshirt, is that it matches the logo on one of the teams.
I see.
And so she's like kind of almost on the balls of her feet on the couch, and just like, snacking on the popcorn sort of thing. And then as the ball, gets moved or action happens, she'll pause and be like, "Come on, ref, what the hell is that? Put that damn yellow flag back in your pocket." Then they'll say, okay, offsides, whatever like that. And she's like, "Offsides? Oh, they're giving them the game." "Oh, hi, ma'am. Sorry. My Crimson Tide is like playing, and we're down by 7.
7
Points."
Oh, points. Yes, of course.
You don't strike me as a fan of football.
I'm afraid I have not had much time for it. But I'm glad to see you enjoying yourself, in a manner of speaking.
Oh yeah, and I'm totally sorry. I know I'm like not dressed like professionally right now, but you guys have got like the all-encompassing cable package, so Seth said I could come over and catch some of the games.
Of course, you're more than welcome.
Okay, thank you. I'm not missing anything for business, right? Like I know I'm kind of like on call 24/7.
No, just thought I would shoot the breeze a little bit, but I see you are uh, otherwise occupied, which is fine. You're welcome to spend your leisure time as you like,
Okay, thank you.
and I'll leave you to it.
Okay. And so just as you stand up, she starts like meerkatting and starts like looking at the TV, trying to keep her eyes on it as you're walking past. And then you hear her go, oh, it's in! She accidentally throws up some popcorn into the air, and she's like, touchdown! You're like really, loud and throwing her hands up and whatnot. And she's like, take that, Auburn! Yeah!
Well, I think she's settling in just fine. All right, well, then I will respond to the text chat and ask if there is anything we ought to catch up on before the meeting tonight. Send. To the group chat.
Okay. It's like we might end up losing George. He's frozen.
My ringer is off, so I don't hear that it comes through.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, George is super glitchy over there.
Yeah. Yeah, George, you may not want to watch the stream. It may be taking up too much of your bandwidth for doing this and watching.
Okay. Yeah, I did. I tried to close it, and it didn't really help. It helped a little bit, but it's still kind of shaky.
Gotcha.
Am I coming through okay?
Yeah, you're coming through
Yeah,
fine.
so far so good. Nope. Spoke too soon.
And you froze.
That's okay.
Everybody sounds auto-tuned on my end.
Oh no.
Ooh. Maybe you need to reboot.
No.
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I should do to fix it.
I have no idea.
Well, so you sent a text, Trudy. Did anybody reply?
Did she send it to the? Could you repeat what she said? I'm sorry, what she said in the text.
Asking if there's anything we need to catch up on before the meeting.
Don't think so, but I've also been a little bit busy lately, so anybody else? Question mark?
Quan chimes in, and he says, I'm not going to be there, but I think Malcolm had something pretty important he wanted to talk to the Anarchs to.
Malcolm has always been pleasant, so as far as I know, I think we're good for now. Maybe we should all just meet up there.
All right, then I will see you at the Willow House.
And you see Latisse gives a thumbs up.
Always weirded out when we have more NPCs on this chat.
Not all of them, but there are some that are on here.
I always forget about them. Or like maybe I would say things differently. Maybe we need to specify a council chat and a all hands Ashland chat.
Sure. That would be a great topic of conversation.
Do that. All right, then I guess if there's nothing else going on, I'll just break out the Wall Street Journal or something.
Okay.
And
so then we'll just go to a time lapse too when you guys are going to be meeting up there. So you've had a chance to hunt a little bit, Henry. Anybody who's needed a chance to refill, like at the Haven, you've had obviously a chance to do that. When you show up to the Willow House, if you guys don't remember, that's in the art district. So it is an older part, but nicer part of Ashland. It is kind of sitting adjacent to the Shakespeare Festival building. So
it's like the Willow House downtown or in that area.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay,
well,
I know
it's off downtown. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's downtown. It's kind of like Phoenix. It's like people say downtown, but they're like, oh, well, that's like Camelback
like 3rd Street
and
and Central or something. Yeah. That's funny you said that. Yeah. No, I know the Willow House that you're talking about in that district. So that's why I was wondering. Is like that the one you're saying when you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And you can see that there's a sign that's posted out front that says private engagement. And there's 2 people that are waiting out front. One of them's a big, beefy-looking guy you don't really recognize. He's in a plain shirt, slacks, and kind of a sport coat. And the other one is Jimmy.
Question: is Malcolm using the cane that I gave him that detached into like a weapon for the last like 2 Christmases ago?
Perhaps.
Probably not. Okay. She's gonna stand out front and she's gonna like wave up to Malcolm and it's like, I'm just waiting for the others to show up so we can kind of like, arrive in unison.
Well, Malcolm's actually on the inside. He's not hanging out front.
Oh, okay. I thought you said, okay, never mind.
Yeah, no, Jimmy...
She's still going to wait in the front for everybody.
Yeah, no, Jimmy's just waiting out there, just kind of keeping an eye on things with somebody else, who's next to him.
What's the beefy guy look like again?
Appearance too, European looking, more solid than probably defined muscle, but he has just a plain shirt on with slacks and a sport coat.
He doesn't look familiar?
No, he does not. So, but as everybody ends up arriving, one second, I think he said he was going to be restarting. Okay. Yeah, so he said he's restarting. No problem. But while you guys are lining up and getting out of your vehicles or whatnot, Jimmy smiles and motions all of you forward. Latisse eventually shows up as well. She has her vehicle, but she has Andrew waiting out beside it, nearby the vehicle. The street itself actually has quite a bit of foot traffic, back and forth. It looks like in addition to the Willow House now being open, outside of it being private engagement, it looks like 2 other storefronts here have been rented out since you guys were last here. There's still a bunch, obviously, still available. But there is the art house that you went to that Latisse had some of her things shown. So you were there several weeks ago. And then there is another kind of artsy-fartsy coffee shop that's down here. So you're...
All right.
Oh, thank you for the follow.
Of course, it's always about you, isn't it?
A lot of the people that are coming down here foot traffic wise looks like they've probably come from the college, so they're that type of crowd, mainly younger, whatnot. But Jimmy motions all of you over, and he's like, "Oh, welcome, guys. I'm glad you could make it. As you can tell by the sign, private engagement for everybody. So no need to worry about, things. He kind of, emphasizes it and looks around at, the people kind of walking by. He says, so if you're all ready, please go ahead and go on inside.
Jerome, I'm thinking Henri might not remember to clean the blood off his face when he's like after feeding. I only have a humanity of 4, and I don't know if I care about that kind of thing. So is that
Yeah. With humanity 4, yes. 100%.
that I won't remember? I will.
And I would say yes. Sorry, it's up to you, Jerome.
Yeah, no. You may or may not. You might want to just leave it up to a roll then, if that's the case, if you're kind of on the fence. Your humanity really wouldn't dictate, per se, how you view yourself as being clean.
Cleanliness.
Yeah.
I just see it as natural, that I just fed,
Right,
so
but exactly. But along those lines, yeah, you might not think too much of it along the lines of like, oh, you just recently ate a burger and you didn't think to check the sides of your mouth.
Right.
You didn't wipe your sleeve on your mouth on your sleeve or something.
Right. So, like just wits? Do you think?
Just wits and alertness difficulty 6.
All right. No, I don't remember.
Okay.
No successes. I didn't botch.
See the blood on if he shows up with blood on his face. I mean,
I got an 8, but I got a 1. So
yeah, no botch.
Are you gonna do it?
Yeah.
All right. Rachel, are you gonna say anything, or should I?
no, I'm going to.
Get out of my van, and I'll see you guys. Oh, Ashante! And I'm just walking over to you with blood on my face.
I'm just like, what? What's on your face?
I think his name was Fred.
I didn't say who, but maybe you should clean that off before coming in here with the Giovanni.
Oh, merde. Robert has napkins in his van. I also return. So I walk away.
Good impression. I appreciate your enthusiasm with feeding, but probably not the time and place for it.
I'm sure they've seen it before.
I'm sure it's in their art.
I'm just gonna wave as I'm walking away, like whatever. So I'm like rummaging through the van, looking for some napkins that Robert's left behind, because I'm sure he's had plenty of like takeout in the van waiting for me.
Yep.
So
yeah, that is clearly not a problem. You grab some napkins that look like they're labeled Subway.
There you go. So
whatever the hell that is.
Yeah. And I'm wiping it off as I'm walking away from the van and drop the napkins on the ground as I'm approaching. So
okay. All right. So he just holds the door open for everybody to walk in.
And Damaris will go up first and kind of look back to everybody and just be like, let's go.
Okay.
Merci beaucoup.
There's some music playing in the background. It's most of you don't quite recognize it, but it's trendy. It sounds like like one or two of the songs that they're doing are like remakes of popular songs that are out there.
I have no clue.
Yeah, it's kind of in the realm of like Hoobastank. You guys are familiar with that band? Like the bands that were around that time frame, that sort of rock yet not heavy metal. So I guess in many respects, like Nickelback could be kind of in that same vein too.
Hoobastank is playing in this kind of establishment?
No, not Hoobastank, but a band that has a similar sound.
All right.
But it's playing softly in the background. It's not like blaring or whatnot.
It's like
There
Starbucks
are
music.
What's that?
It's like Starbucks music.
Kind of, yeah. There are art pieces already currently on display here. Most of which look like they were probably from Day of the Dead. So they kind of carry that, Spanish Mexican motif to it, and the sugar skull, heads and so on and so forth. There is a bartender in the back. He's dressed very similar to the guy you saw out front. There are glasses that are already laid out on the bar for anyone to take, and then of course you can obviously let them know what it is that you might happen to need. Malcolm is just standing off to the side, looking at one of the pieces that's there. Actually, the piece that he's looking at happens to be an African mask.
I'll go in and give him a kiss on the cheek.
And so he turns. He's like, "Oh, Trudy, sorry, I didn't know that you guys got here. I was kind of reminiscing." And he returns the kiss.
It kind of looks like the one in your office.
Very astute. It would actually be the one in my office. It's now, of course, currently on display here.
Oh, very nice. How kind of you to share it with the world.
Well, it's just for tonight. I figured I'd bring something from home. No idea why. I just opted to do that.
Well, so the rest of us could see it, obviously.
Apparently. It looks like most of you are here, I think. Yes?
Yes, we've not arrived together precisely, but yes, we're all here.
Oh, good. So he turns and looks to everyone here, and then he pauses real quick when he looks to Remus and he says, and he looks over to Trudy and he says, "Somebody is very sharp dressed. Who took him to styling school?"
What was that last part?
He said, "Who took him to styling school?"
Seems there were some complications from the Vegas operation.
He picked up style and fashion?
He internalized them, more like.
You'll have to explain that one to me later on, I suppose. So he just, he politely puts his hand to Trudy's side. Nothing like, super over the top or anything. And he motions everybody else forward. And he says, "Thank you all for coming tonight. We have drinks prepared for all of you. If you have specific tastes, the bartender should be able to accommodate you." I suppose I should go ahead and just get right to it, and then we can chat or whatever else that you might need afterwards. So Hesperia has left a note. And he unfolds it. He says, "Now this was the one that was given to Quan. I don't know if I'm sure she may have left one for all of you, because you're kind of looking at me with blank stares." And he kind of pulls it open and he says, "She's left the city."
She off looking for something?
Nothing in specific, actually, which is her words. I guess she's with Jewel, and they are just going to spend time with one another, and she is basically vacated your position of Baron.
Wait, what? Really? Why wouldn't she tell us this?
I don't know.
Okay.
And he shows you the note, what was left. I mean, that's literally all that's really there. It's very sparse.
Have any of you seen her lately? Is she all right? Has she been abducted or left against her will?
I think we would know if that was the case. I mean, I just thought she was busy. I didn't think that she had uh, skipped town.
Why would she
Um,
leave and leave that position? Like, uh, did she
I'm
just
honestly not
not
sure.
care?
Was she unhappy being Baron? I know it's a lot of responsibility, but she seemed to be handling it well.
Was the message hand delivered to Quan?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Was the message hand delivered by her?
No, it was actually delivered to Quan.
So she just gone temporarily? Like, we need like just a temporary stand-in? Is she going to be back?
There's no indication of a time frame, which is why I've actually called all of you here. Per the agreement that we agreed and your formation of the council, it would probably behoove all of you to decide who is going to be your next Baron. If for no other reason than to have some sort of figurehead in place for when other anarchs show up. I'm obviously not going to interfere with that. That's none of my particular business. However you wish to decide that is entirely up to all of you. We'll honor whatever choice that you decide to make. I would just suggest that you be a little wise in doing so, given some of the recent changes is all.
Disappointed about the fact that she didn't actually talk to her council in the first place about her leaving.
Valid questions. Or valid concerns, I should say.
But you can tell if this paper is legitimate.
Well, yes.
Be right back, guys. I'm sorry.
Sure. There are ways of doing so, as this has been, handled a couple times. Not now, but we did have somebody look at it and got the psychic impression of Hesperia writing the note.
And she was not writing it under duress. It was
not as far as we could see, no. But that doesn't exactly. That isn't sort of an indicator, really.
Okay. I guess we have some stuff to talk about, but thank you for letting us know. I don't know if we missed our notification of it, but thank you for keeping us in the loop.
Of course. I figured if nothing else, it would give a chance for everybody to meet and discuss the very issue.
Malcolm, is there a deadline for making this decision?
I don't exactly have a deadline. I would advise it be done probably within the next few nights.
But you don't need an answer tonight.
No, of course not.
All right. Well, that'll give us some time to discuss.
Yeah, should we go and talk about this? This is kind of a big deal.
as much as it is nice to be invited to the Willow House to meet. I would like to leave at this point and talk about what has just been revealed.
Oh, of course. Would you like your drinks to go then?
I'll take
Have to leave now?
No, you don't.
No. Well, I was thinking we could. I mean, even if we have to go outside or someplace else to just. I mean, I don't know how much we want to discuss it in public, but we don't necessarily have to leave for. I mean, we have a lot to think about and probably to talk about.
Look, I don't want it to ruin our evening in that sense. It's actually been quite a while since we've been invited or even been able to attend a Giovanni event. You don't get invited to these things very often, to be honest with you. So, just saying. I'm not leaving yet, but if you guys want to, that's fine. But I do think we need to talk about it. But I don't want to talk about it here.
Yeah. So I guess your vote is enjoy the evening and then discuss it
Yes.
at a later date. Okay.
Well, later date meaning maybe later tonight or tomorrow, but there's nothing we can do about it right now.
Okay.
All right, that's acceptable.
I
Henry, you're under no obligation to stay.
and I appreciate it. It's my baser instincts have been kept in check out of respect for the Baron, and now we do not have a Baron.
Not right
I-
now, but we will. Why won't you have that same respect later?
I will have that same respect when I have been on my own for quite some time, and it was the Baron's invitation to join this council, to join this group that I'm here, that I am a part of you, and for her to just leave without saying anything to us, and why. What is the relationship with this Quan that she just delivers a message to him, and it just I'm quite angry, to be quite frank, and I don't.
It's fair.
Well,
At the same
Malcolm
time,
steps in
though-
and says Quan's actually a member of your council.
Yes, he is.
He's actually our
Um,
representation on your council, so that I would imagine that's probably why.
Look, there's nothing that said that she's not coming back. So I don't think we need to look at this as a permanent situation necessarily. Because you guys know I can spy on her and all that stuff anyway. So it's not like I can't check up on her to make sure she's doing okay. But after everything that's happened, maybe she needs a little bit of time away to decompress.
Yeah, I'm sure she's got plenty to deal with after what happened in Vegas.
Exactly. That was a big event that
Yeah,
handled a
plan,
lot of stuff.
Yeah, our plan
So-
wasn't necessarily kind to her.
Yeah. Henri,
but-
I have enjoyed your company here. And I would really like it if you would consider sticking around until we really figure out what's going on.
I'm going to turn to Malcolm and just say, I would like to remain, but I would like to just to be here, but not to be here. If you understand what I am saying,
Of
Would that
course.
be- Can I?
Would you
to
like
just-
a corner to brood in?
No,
You can go, Henri. It's okay. I meant that in the sense that don't leave the city, perhaps, until we maybe figure out what's going on. Because I think you are a valued. I think you're a valued presence here. I think that what you have to offer is really amazing. So I don't feel like you should leave. I don't want you to leave.
well,
I don't want any of you to leave.
here's what I'm saying. I do not want anyone at this point. I'm gonna lean closer and just kind of whisper to you. I'm just thinking simply of just to obfuscate. So I am here, but I'm not physically. I'm not here. So I can stay. Right. I do not want to interact with anyone. I do not want to have a conversation with someone. So this Giovanni soiree is nice to be a part of, but at the same rate, I just the last time 2 nights ago that we were out, the bastard that was like this former prince, and it was like, oh, I am here, and I wanted to slit his throat, and the only reason I did not drain his blood was because out of respect for the Baron. And now we have no Baron, and I don't know. You are right. There's a void.
Oh,
And
You can leave this party. That's okay. That's not what I'm saying. You need to stay in it because I value that. I'm saying I want you to stay in the city because I value you as part of this city at this point.
yeah. He just.
So if you want to leave now, that's fine.
Well, he doesn't want to leave. He just wants to. He wants to be near, but he doesn't want to be bothered. Do I have it correct?
yeah,
Fair enough.
absolutely.
So,
Fair enough.
by all means, go find a corner and enjoy.
Nope.
Disappear, come back in. So, would that be rude?
No.
I completely understand the situation, and the colloquialism for nowadays, I believe, is you do you.
All right, so I'm gonna-
Exactly.
Take
and-
the time you need, Henri.
Exactly.
I will not. So I will lurk. Is what I will do.
Sure.
I will. I just
You will be the Nosferatu for the night. How's that?
Yes. I will go back to my roots. So
Grab yourself a drink while you're at it.
I am full at this point, but I think maybe if I will grab a drink. So I walk up like, thank you all. I do a bow, and I'm
Of
like,
course.
and I'm just going to go into just muttering in French at this point. Just what did you say? So
And so Malcolm leans into Trudy and he says, "A prince?"
Yes, we had a visit from Damascus Draybergen at Anzio's the other night.
And so he laughs. He's like, "Damascus?
Are you friends with him?
I know him, yes. Remember when I told you about Kansas City?"
Refresh my memory. You've told me a lot.
All of our memories.
Well, okay, so he just looks at the rest of the crowd and he's like, "Well, I was the Don of the family in Kansas City around the same time that he was the prince of the city. So yes, I know him."
Okay.
Did you have the same kind of relationship that your buddy Shlomo had with Benedict?
No, no, heavens no. No, it was nothing like that. It was more stereotypical. The Camarilla were a little bit more slanted towards infighting, and when they weren't infighting, they were up in arms about the Camarilla or about the Sabbat, I should say, and sometimes the Cohesion. We had kind of a melding pot. But mostly internal.
Why is he a former prince then?
Mostly internal politics. He stepped down.
I mean, I know what happened.
Very
he stepped down willingly.
Yes.
Huh. Well, he claimed he was interested in investing with our local Century Media.
Okay. Interesting.
And more importantly, we were concerned about him moving into the area without, well, as you know, the head of the city is now technically Adam.
Right.
And he laid down that rule about no cam in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, Mr. Draybergen made it clear that he was still associated with that group.
Well, association versus actually being there, being of that faction is maybe a little different. Did he actually say he was still of that faction? Like, is he still Camarilla? I know he stepped down, but does he still align with that?
That was my understanding.
Then he can't be in the city. Plain and simple. That's what Adam edict.
Did you hear the same thing that I heard?
I don't remember him saying that he was still Camarilla. I remember him saying that he was former, but
He
for prince or former Camarilla. There is a big difference there.
well, he said former prince, but well,
as I recall, he's I tried to be roundabout with asking about his affiliation, and he said, "Oh, so you're asking if I still kiss the ring?" And he said, in that sense, yes.
Yes. Well, okay. Kissing the ring, I guess it depends on how you interpret that. That could mean a number of things. That yes, you're just, but maybe you're not a part of it, or you are and you're just in that respect. So that's too vague. That's too middle of the road, in my opinion. He didn't give a straight answer.
Well, then, Malcolm, what is your opinion of his character? Do you think we should allow him to set up shop in town?
I think that would be entirely your decision.
Do you think it would be an unwise decision based on what you know of him?
Well, that's going to be a complicated answer. Because what you get, or I should say, what you expect is what you get. So he is very honorable in that sense. So he doesn't seem to play very many games, like not in the sense of word games where he tries to catch you up, which is, I guess, a little unstereotypical. Where, where no offense, where yes, where Ventrue typically are concerned, and fair enough in my clan. You could say you could make the same argument. I mean, look at Goodfellas. We're stereotypical for some reasons. He also, I again, this has been a while. I haven't seen him since before I even left Kansas City, but he didn't play any games either. There was an instance where somebody was in Elysia and decided to spontaneously break it. I don't remember what exactly. But he had his team delimb the offender, stake them, and hand them over to the primogen.
So he punished them.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a pretty extreme form of punishment. But yes, he did. I can't say I would completely disapprove. I mean, if the guy's going to go so far as to wreck Elysium for some reason, you definitely want to make
an
your mark,
example.
But he definitely made an example.
So that was the whole point of that. So it sounds like he's pretty straightforward. But at the same time, the whole kiss in the ring comment, that leaves it too open. But in your experience, you said he was honorable, which is something that I genuinely appreciate. Do you think he has honorable intentions here?
Well, if he said he was only here to invest in something, I would imagine that's all he's here to do.
He did express interest in meeting the locals.
Oh.
Well, if he's going to invest in a business here, that means that he's... the way I see it is that if you're going to invest in a business in a specific location, that means that you're going to be here. Maybe occasionally, once in a while, or permanently.
I think that's fair.
That means he's setting...
But his company is multinational. So I can't imagine...
When you say company, his business, or the company he keeps?
No. Oh, yeah, no. The business that he runs.
Yes,
he runs a company called Vencorp that has a number of subsidiaries, which of course have branched off from Kansas City and so forth.
What kind of business is it? Just out of curiosity.
I think the base was import-export originally, and then it became... I think I didn't keep up on the guy, but I believe from there it became kind of a conglomerate. Like the Vencorp became the primary company, and then there were various subsidiaries of it that handled other things. He had kind of a wide variety of taste. He, at one point in time, invested in the local pro team that we had there as well.
He said he was interested in
import-export.
Well, he said he was interested in Century because of the film industry that was being built up here. He wanted to sort of get his fingers into that business.
I guess that would make sense. I mean, it's kind of a hotbed right now with everything happening in California.
Well, if he is interested in the way I see it is, if he is interested in setting up here, frankly, I feel like that deserves a conversation with him with the council.
That's fair.
And a legitimate, because this affects us as a city. And we need to be able to understand what he is doing and his intentions if he is going to be allowed to remain here, frankly, to do business, period, the way I see it.
I don't see any fault with that logic.
Yeah, we gave him our business cards and we have his, so if we need to contact him again, he was pretty polite. But
And I can respect that. But at the same time, we're also trying to run a city here, and we've had a lot of issues of people trying to take over and come in
Right.
where they don't need to be.
Right.
So I feel like we need to have a conversation with this prince, former prince, to understand exactly what his intentions are, and maybe we can strike up a deal or a partnership to work with him on this.
I do
To bring
think
income to the city, because we know we were having issues with before of the funding of the police, which I'm sure has helped a little bit or subsided a little bit, but there's always still going to be that issue. So this might help
I
in
do
that
think
revenue.
we need to have another conversation with him that is a little more straightforward.
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
If it, for what it's worth, if it helps, the rumor that went around the city was that he was a former Crusader.
I don't know what that means.
Crusader.
The Knights Templar.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
actual Knights Templar, or like he.
Around.
One of the Crusaders that went to Christendom to free
Wow, he's old.
Jerusalem from the Moors.
Jesus.
Oh, so like an actual like person from that real life thing that happened.
Yes.
Like Indiana Jones, like going into that temple and drinking from the cup that wasn't Jesus. You know, like that old sort of deal.
Yeah. Well,
If we want to make the Hollywood reference, I suppose that would be fairly accurate. Yeah, something
I
just
like
wanted to be-
Hollywood.
I just wanted to be sure we were talking about like a real thing, or versus like, oh, this is a group of vigilantes. Well, like a group of vigilantes that fought crime, and like it sounds like a comic book that it could be, but now I know it's actual historical
No,
thing.
it's real shit.
Oops.
Okay. Is he still in town? You said you gave him our card. Who is he supposed to contact?
He said he was in contact, or as far as us, he said he was only going to be in town to just talk about this business deal, and then he was going to leave.
How long ago was that?
That was
out of character. That was 2 days
nights
ago.
Yeah,
I'm gonna text Mr. Cronin, obviously with talk to text so everybody can listen in, and
Malcolm just smiles.
I'll ask him if he has any update on Mr. Draybergen.
Okay.
Because I asked him to keep eyes on, or put some guys on him. So we'll see if anything came from that.
Yeah, and so he just says, "Well, yes, ma'am. We tracked
Wait,
him."
is he out in the car or is he in here with us?
No, he's out waiting out the car. He didn't come in.
Okay. All right.
He's actually out there BSing with Andrew right now.
Oh, nice.
He just sends a text back saying that looks like he and his team retired to Klamath Falls.
Well, Mr. Cronin says he and his team are still in the area but out of the city. So if we need to call him back in, I imagine he would be available.
I think we should probably pick up that problem once we solve the question of who he's going to meet. We need to still pick somebody to be the leader, and then also to, if we're gonna start putting our foot down, we need to have like
Some rules.
some definite ground
Yes.
rules. And
Can we back up a minute? Klamath Falls, you said?
Yes.
Isn't that where isn't that we checked out that city before?
Mm-hmm.
Like there was supposed to be a base of operations there. But it was gone by the time we had gotten there before we did our Vegas operation.
Yep.
So why were they going to Klamath Falls again?
I don't think he said. As far as we knew, he was just going to talk to some people at this company, think about investing with them, and then he said he was going to move on. He didn't mention anything about this when we talked to him.
Trying to remember which of my characters was present when we were talking about that.
If you're talking about the whole Klamath Falls thing, not the previous meeting, but the whole Klamath Falls thing, that was Sophie.
No, I mean
Yeah.
when we talked about it previously, when we were talking to
That
Cuddles.
was the Gina Neeson invasion.
We were talking to Cuddles about it.
Yes.
I think that was
Cuddles was the one that most recently elaborated on it.
okay. So Trudy doesn't know about that.
Cuddles the cat.
When I scryed into Klamath Falls before we visited there was nothing left there because we thought that they were using that area as basically a sort of base. But by the time we got to it, unfortunately, it was all cleaned up and gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious as to why this Klamath Falls keeps popping up.
That is interesting.
I feel like maybe there's something still going on there that we just simply did not see.
I suppose you could always take a look.
Well, last time I looked, I didn't find much, but then
But
again,
you could check in on Mr. Draybergen.
yeah. I'd be curious as to what he's finding there because last we were there, and which wasn't that recent, which was pretty recently, there was nothing left in the sense that as far as evidence that there was a base there. So why is he going there now? Curious.
That is a curious question.
To maybe have a nice little meet and greet with Damascus. With all of us.
And our brand new Baron. Who are we gonna pick? This is hard.
So while you're mulling that over, I did want to give you the other piece of news at this point.
Oh, there's more.
Nothing major.
There's always more.
It's nothing major. Since none of you have come out and claimed it, the Giovanni are going to name Enzio's Aristorante as an Elysia to be protected by us. We're not affecting any business deals that you might have there. We're just making sure that it is known specifically so that there is more than one.
Wow. That's good to know because Anzio's is mine. So I am okay with it being in Elysium. I feel like it's been an unofficial sort of meeting place for our kind. Anyway, okay. That's fine with me. I would like heads up notices if there were to be any meetings there so I can just be prepared accordingly.
No, of course, of course. Give me 1 second. Hold that thought. Pause. I'm gonna stop and start the stream to see if I can fix because it keeps dropping off every so often. So give me just 1 second. And stream.
I gotta pee anyway, so I'll be right back.
All right, 5-minute break.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Is my connection still bad, or am I coming through?
Oh yeah, your connection's fine.
Okay.
I'll put there we go. General. That's... Where's it at? I'm betting because I'm doing it multiple, it's not giving me the opportunity to. Yeah.
Hey, puppy.
Huh. Oh well. Go ahead and start it again. then put this on. I'll be right back. Go.
For me, I think, because Remus is not going to do it.
Yeah, it's not Remus.
No, I'm not letting Remus do it. No offense.
I'm just too new to this group, so.
Well, Remus doesn't want to do
Maybe
it.
we should ask Remus.
Yeah, Remus doesn't
Maybe we
care
should ask
to be the Baron, but like,
Hmm. Okay, Damaris would absolutely not support that in any way, shape, or form.
Good to know you got my back.
Wait, is it
I
just
got
'cause
your back,
you're-
but not as Baron.
is it just because you're scared for your life?
Yes.
Yeah. It depends on who's doing it.
I think the other side of Remus not wanting to be Baron is that he can't trust himself right now.
Well,
if
that's
if he
Not like any.
felt, well, if this stuff wasn't happening to him and he felt like that, he could do some good by doing, like, then he might be willing to do it. But because right now, like, he's ordered, he has no control over himself at this moment. It would not be a good idea to put him into the Baron seat, which is why he's not going to volunteer for it.
wouldn't that be funny if not
Totally
really
fine.
funny, but kind of funny if like we depose one prince and then suddenly he's the Prince of Ashland.
I was actually wondering if, like, with this new knowledge, if
Going.
Benedict was going to grab the wheel and try to take over or something, but Remus is
Right,
not going to. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I mean,
Maris has eyes on you. It is not happening.
Remus isn't concerned about Damaris.
I know.
Hello, hello. So while we're on the topic of Elysia, perhaps we ought to put some more rules there too, or maybe not rules exactly, but I have observed.
Requirements. Look, I'm sorry, but in this type of city, in an anarch city, there has to be a. I don't want to call it a rule, but basically a frankly, whatever. It's a requirement that they need to come and present themselves to us, let us know that they're here, and the reason for it.
That's a very Camarilla attitude, and
It is,
I agree that
but
it's a useful tool, and I agree that there is a need for us to understand who is passing through town. My thought was we ought to keep a regular schedule, maybe a couple of nights a week. We have sort of open hours at the Elysium so that people understand there's going to be somebody waiting there to present themselves to.
Okay, I like
And
that idea.
That way we won't have random messages that somebody's waiting and we're busy with something else. Granted, we're always busy with something else, but I think that might be
That
a
idea.
good start.
Keeping an open Elysium, like you said, to where at least they can let us know that they're here. Because frankly, I mean, anybody could really come into the city and, well, try to do whatever they want.
I mean,
I'm just sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, if you're new to all this, because, like, I don't know any of this. If I was new in town, how would I know where to go to, like, to even, like, even if if I wanted to be friendly and, like, let people know I was here, like, how do people find out? Is there, like, where to
We
go?
need to spread word. We need to spread the word. We can't exactly put up signs everywhere, but we need to be able to. When I say spread, we need to be able to have it go. I don't want to say word of mouth, but we need our reputation to precede us in that regard. Like basically as okay, if you're going to be in this city, that's fine, but we need to know who you are, and we need to know you. In my opinion, we just had too many people try to fuck us over and try to take over the city, and I'm over it. I want to know who's coming in, and I want to know what their intentions are. Until I can feel some sort of level of comfort and trust that whoever's going to come in isn't going to try to take us over again.
Traditionally speaking, we don't tend to move around quite so often. or in an ordinary city, you would learn these places from your sire, and you would typically spend most of your life in the same city.
Well,
But there's been
that
so
doesn't
much
happen for all of
unrest.
us.
There's
my
been so much unrest that there's a lot more moving around than there has been.
Look,
yeah my
I really think that word of mouth and our reputation needs to be spread in that sense. I feel like with a lot of cities, whether it's Camarilla, Sabat, Anarch, any of those types, there is usually an expectation that precedes it when you enter into that town.
Mhm.
That's the expectation that people need to have when they come into our town. So the
yeah
only way to really have that happen is by spreading the word from
And
reputable sources
and by
so that people know.
having repercussions.
Exactly.
I think that's the
Examples of
problem.
people who violate those trusts and those rules.
Yeah, because we've kind of rolled over anytime anybody has just sort of walked in and said, "This is mine now."
Pretty much.
And
And I'm all for us being a safe haven for other anarchs. Heaven knows they need a place to call home,
Mhm.
and there are strength in numbers, but perhaps, like you said, we need to um, create some kind of understanding that there's an expectation. So, um, what do we want to? What is the price for someone new to town not presenting themselves?
Well,
how
I
does
mean,
this
that is
usually go?
tough. Well, to be honest, usually it ends in bloodshed. Frankly, out of all the previous experiences that I have encountered while being here. Now,
Like,
that
at the
was only
punishment?
because
In a camp
I'm
city,
sorry?
that's how it would work too. But
We just
as we discussed, we would like this to be a little friendlier. But again, we need to uphold some rules.
I also think that based on recent events that I feel like our reputation kind of does a little bit precede us a little bit in that sense. We've literally taken care of pretty much anybody who has come in to this city and tried to take it over and bulldoze us. So in that regard, I feel like we've started already building that reputation that basically if you're going to come in here and fuck with us, we're not going to handle it lightly.
Well, I don't know, because like the werewolves moved in right after we had the second, the police or the government was on us, and then the Sabat tried to move in, and then even after Las Vegas, a former Cam Prince is waltzing in, not like even knowing what had happened, waltzes in like, what's going to happen? Like I don't
Do
know.
anything. He didn't do anything to challenge it though in that sense. So I feel like in that regard, like, yeah, he already knew what happened here. Frankly, I feel like he came in understanding that, okay, he let us know he was here, even though it was a little bit later. He let us know his intentions, and we didn't have any issues, right?
Yeah, but aren't we concerned about what he's doing on the outskirts of town?
Well, yeah, I am, which is why we need to have that conversation with him, because if he does plan on sticking around for a little while, we need to be a part of that conversation. Look, I don't know what exactly the whole punishment for breaking the rules is here. I don't feel like there is any specific punishment that we can put in order for someone. I feel like our actions need to speak for themselves. And our actions have really proven that we don't take shit from people, and we're going to do something about it if you come around trying to take over our turf. That's the way I see it. sorry to be a bit more callous than you guys are, but I've been around for a while and I'm tired of playing games.
I mean, I don't like I if I had a choice, I wouldn't even want to be a part of this stuff. But unfortunately,
This
this
is
is
the hand
all.
that you got dealt. So
Well, this is
work
all.
with it.
Vampires love to play games, is what I'm learning, and like we either have to sit at the table and I guess try to win because there's no other way of dealing with it. But I think we really need to pick us like who is going to be the face of this because whoever we pick as Baron is going to say more about what we intend to do than just a strong list of rules at the edge of the park. I mean, and like
Well,
Sophie's not here. Like I don't really know who who we could even like nominate for this or ask to do it.
Latisse
Demare,
raises her
I just
hand
know
and
what
just and politely says, "Not it."
who does?
who does.
Latisse.
Damaris, of us gathered here, you've been here the longest, haven't you?
Yes.
Hmm.
But I'm not sure. I mean, I tend to be a bit more callous than you guys are. I'm very aware of that. But I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of people coming in thinking that they can take over something that's not theirs just because they, want to, measure dicks in front of everybody else in the other cities. So I don't know if you want my level of leadership.
Well, we don't have to make a decision tonight, so let's let it all stew for a little while, and if anyone's particularly interested, let them put their lot forward, and we'll give it some thought.
Fair enough.
Latisse just steps up and she says, "I'm happy to help in any way I can. I just don't want any part of politics."
It's very understanding. Understandable. Well, let's all have a drink then.
So Malcolm snaps his fingers, and now the bartender comes over with glasses specifically for everybody. Since Henri is hiding and obfuscate, they just walk over in the vicinity and set a drink down nearby. Or actually, he already had one. Never mind. So
Well, I may have drank it by now. Probably did.
okay. So then they set another one down in that vicinity. Obviously not directly where he's at, but like somewhere, like on a pedestal or something nearby. A glass with a blue mark on it is given specifically to Trudy.
Very nice. I'll take a nice slow smell of it just to enjoy the bouquet, as
Okay.
it were.
All right.
And then sip.
I'd like to say that I've been kind of hanging out this whole time, listening to this conversation, just trying to figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And when the glasses start coming out, they put the empty one down. I'm going to go off in a hidden corner somewhere, reappear, and then walk back up. I don't want to just suddenly appear.
Okay.
I don't think that would be polite. So,
Surprised.
Well, I mean, we all knew you would be here somewhere.
right.
Everyone in this room knows that you were here.
But they saw me leave and come back.
As you like.
So I come back and I'm like, as she said, I would say not it as well. I have been listening to the conversation as I wandered the room. I came back to listen.
Figured.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts based
Uh,
on what you did here?
I have intentionally stayed away from politics. I do not. When I left the Camarilla, it disgusted me. The ways of the Sabbat, I did not understand. Did not. So that's why the meaning of anarch has been very important to me. But I would like to stay, and I thank you for your invitation. But I think what you're
Of course,
looking at
we want
is,
you to stay.
well, and Miss Trudy, you are new to us too as well. You joined this group this is the same time I did, so I appreciate you saying not wanting to step up. And Monsieur Remus, frankly, with your current state of mind, I don't think we could allow you to be as a baron at this point.
No, as long as I keep. By the way, I'm not.
Give me a
you're not
willpower
still-
check.
Me?
Yes.
What?
Difficulty 8.
yeah.
Make a what?
Willpower.
Oh no.
Uh, 2 successes.
Okay.
Nice.
I got a 10 and a 9.
That comment didn't sit well with you. But you're good.
Does it show on his face at all? That he's
Comment?
still for a
No.
moment?
No, actually it does not.
Which comment about him
Not being able to be a baron.
stable? Oh,
Stable enough to be a baron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did not hear Miss Sophie mentioned. I would say, I'm not sure. Simply because she is very dedicated to her new husband, and this new lifestyle she is with. So I don't know if she would make a good baroness, but I don't know if that is something that she'd be willing to step up to at this point. So by default, Damaris, I think,
Falls
it's
to me.
yes, because Kwan has said no, she has said no. I think it would fall to you. That's
My vote would be for Sophie personally.
Quan isn't an anarch. He's a Giovanni.
Yeah.
Oh.
He cannot be.
We would not be
Part
a
of that.
baron within your sect.
Okay.
And I feel like Sophie is more concentrated on Colin.
that's what I am saying.
moment.
She is level-headed enough, and she is intelligent enough in order to run as a leader. But I think she is distracted at this moment. So
So what are you saying? I'm not intelligent enough or level-headed enough?
no, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Damaris, I believe 100% that you will do your best to defend yourself and make sure that you're set up. But
Not just
I
me. All
well,
of you.
that's what I'm afraid of. Like with Sophie, I would at least know that, she would definitely do her best to make sure that it works out great for everyone. But I don't know. I've had more interactions with Sophie, and so my vote is with Sophie just because that's the person that I could see. I don't know. She's the one who I would pick.
Too harsh for you, huh?
Huh?
I said I think I'm a little too harsh for you, huh?
It's not that. It's just like you were saying, you see things in a harsher light, and that's fine. I'm not saying that's bad. It's just that I think if we want this to be like Trudy is saying, this to be a place where a little more compassion, and I think that Sophie is definitely, if anything else, somebody who has just got buckets of it in her house.
I support those that are honorable and that do what they're supposed to do and do what they promise they're going to do.
So you would
And
say
I
it's
uphold
in
those
your,
values myself.
So you would say it's in your path to do so.
Yes, it is. It's my upbringing.
Malcolm kind of snickers.
Damaris will just kind of like, it's in my upbringing. I might seem a bit harsh on the outside with you guys, but please understand that I have the best interest of the city at heart. And I'm not necessarily vying for the job necessarily, but I feel like you're questioning my honor in the sense that I wouldn't do the right thing for everybody here.
Look, I'm not trying to question your honor. I'm just saying that if I had the choice between you and
Me or Sophie,
I
you'd
would
be
go with
Sophie.
Yeah.
Because she's a little bit more coddling.
I mean,
it's cuddling. I think the key word here would be compassionate.
Yeah.
You are direct.
Mhm.
And she has the compassion that you do not have. You have done quite an immense amount for the group, so I have no question whether you are able to sacrifice for the group. So I don't know. I mean, it's whether Sophie leads and you are her number one person, or you are leading and she is your number one person, because that may be a way to go. Is if you are the leader, that Sophie could be your voice of reason for compassion.
I could see value in both sides. I think the city needs a strong hand, but at the same time, we are the last bastion for anarchs. And that makes Ashland
Stand.
It's so much easier just to depart and go to the Zures. That is, but to this,
Look, I hate to tell you this, but any faction that you go to, despite what they say, there's always going to be a little bit of politics.
Oh, I know. That's why I've spent so much time by myself. So it's very much.
Yeah.
This
Sometimes
is
it's necessary.
Right, I understand. But I think I don't know. The Americans, they have the president and the vice president. You know, the president does not have to listen to the vice president, but they are supposed to work together as per se. But the president is the true leader. He is the president. So looking at you as the Baron, I think what I would like
Be a vice president than a president.
No, I would like to have you as the president, but you having Sophie as your compassion. So to list before you say, oh, he needs to die, but maybe you would say, listen to Sophie first, saying, maybe there's another way to do this. So,
okay, you know what, I agree with that.
I could see
I
that.
may be harsh, but you know what, I don't kill without reason, just so you know.
Only I do that.
And
I'm sure you have reasons too, Henri.
Oh,
yeah, we all have a reason or two.
Even if the reason is you're a little hungry.
But
I do. So it's like.
Then perhaps, yes, there is one main person, but maybe there is a partnership somewhere in that regard.
Is that not why we all have a council instead of?
Yes. That is exactly why we have a council, but there's always one person that is a final decision maker, I guess you could say, and that.
And also, I guess with it's, if you decide to step down, it would vary the process of moving Sophie to the Baron position would be easy. So like if with Hesperia leaving us, we are left with a void. So if the trials of being a Baron get to you as well, and you're like, fuck this, I'm gone. And then once you leave us, Sophie would then rise to the position of Baron at that point, because the position is vacant. It would just be a natural progression at that point.
The chain of command.
Yes.
Pardon the interruption, but it sounds like you're deciding on Baron here at the Willow House.
This is not the conversation I wanted to have here.
It's quite all right. I just noticed it was clearly swinging in that direction.
It seemed like we needed to,
Talk
whoever's
about it.
going to, I mean, whoever's going to take over is going to be the one who is going to enforce the rules. And so I feel like before we can really get into the nitty gritty about the rules, we got to find out what the person that is going to lead us wants to do. So I think I think they kind of go hand in hand.
Well, if you guys want to talk to Sophie about it, that might be a good idea. Because she should be included in this conversation now that now that the Baron is actually gone.
Yeah, I wonder how she'll take that news.
I wonder if she even knows.
I don't know if she knows. The last I heard is she was talking to her cat.
Yeah. Okay. I'll text Sophie. Yeah, and I'll pull out my phone and I'll message Sophie and say, "Hey, did you know that H has stepped down?" Question mark.
I don't know. Does she respond?
Not at this point, no.
Okay. I don't know how this works.
Well, why don't we put a pin in this for now until we can get a hold of Sophie and discuss it with everyone. What you guys want to do?
While we're here, perhaps we ought to do some accounting of the other anarchs in the city that we haven't spoken of in a while. Perhaps
Pardon me.
that computer girl and her friend. The
Stephanie and
yes, that's the one.
Susan.
sorry,
Stephanie and Susan.
Thank you.
The two S's.
The one who I don't know which child is mine, or she is a child of mine.
That would be Stephanie. Or no, that would be
Stephanie.
Susan.
A sweet child of mine.
Yeah, sweet child
Susan
of
was
mine.
Susan was the former ghoul that ended up getting embraced. Stephanie was the hacker that can now walk. Because she was crippled.
Okay, so is it Stephanie or Susan that I took over the
Susan.
turning of? Susan. Okay.
Susan.
Susan is the one that is like kind of my child, but not. She's
Right.
just treating it as such.
You need a paternity test.
I don't know how to get that. There's some blood magic involved with that, and I'm not going to get into that.
Here for that.
It's not the vampire equivalent of Maury.
He is not your mother.
Has anyone heard from them lately?
They are with
When was the last time I heard from Susan?
Monsieur Doug. Is that correct?
Oh, with Doug.
It's a hyper. Today it's I understood that they went.
You guys saw Doug in Vegas and didn't see them.
Does anyone have their telephone numbers? Perhaps we might invite them to join us here this evening.
Damaris definitely does.
Yeah, I have Susan's number.
Enjoy a drink. Reconnect.
I mean, I don't know how far away they are or where they're at the moment. So, but I can ask them, sure. So she'll take out her phone and text Susan. Hey, you want to come meet some other people?
So she texts back with a couple question marks. It sounds dubious. What's wrong?
Just think it might be time for you to meet some others of your kind. That's all.
Oh, okay. Sure. Am I bringing Stephanie?
Question out of character is Stephanie wasn't embraced, was she?
Nope.
Or she a ghoul?
She was actually not a ghoul, but she was crippled.
She didn't want to be a
And
ghoul.
she can walk now.
And she can walk now because you
she's
guys
not-
got that fixed.
But she's not a ghoul for anybody. She's just hanging around Susan, like they're
Correct.
buddies or something.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, they were part of Bear's team.
Out of character, also, Jill was living with them last I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you remember Jill.
Feral Jill.
I'm gonna say no, Stephanie, because she's human.
I mean, it's not like
And
you know everything about.
sorry, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
It's not like Stephanie doesn't know everything about us.
I know, but you don't want to bring a human into like a vampire den, in my opinion. Like, I know they'll be respectful of it, but at the same time, she doesn't, because she's human, she doesn't need to be privy to everything, especially a meeting house like this. So,
Alright.
She's gonna text back Susan like, you and Jill can come, but unfortunately, Stephanie would need to be behind because this is just more of a us thing.
So she says, "Okay," and sends a frowny face.
She could drop you off.
She's like,
I
"No."
just don't-
She sends a text back. No, that would just be rude.
I know.
Hey, can you drive me to this party that you can't come to?
I mean, I just don't know how comfortable Stephanie. I don't know how everybody else would feel about a human being in
I
a
guess-
vampire party. You know what I mean?
I guess we can ask them when they.
Are there other humans here? Okay, let me stop here and say, okay, are there other humans here that are
In the
enjoying the party?
Malcolm kind of smiles and then looks to the bartender. He says, "We do
So-
tend to employ family in the know."
Okay, well then she's gonna text back, bring Stephanie. I didn't want to assume that this was like a vampire
Yeah,
only
he says,
thing,
"No,
and then no
that is
humans.
quite all right. It's fair that you don't assume.
Is
It's probably smart."
Was your dog going to come as well?
I don't know. I'm sure I could ask him. Am I inviting the whole other part of the family now?
I don't know. They live together. I mean, my Robert is staying at home with my Zachary, but they're not coming. So
I mean, I don't think it's necessary to bring Doug, to be honest with you.
Doug doesn't live with them. This is me out of character.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
did this back in the day.
But
Yeah.
is this what it is?
That's out of character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
On
is
a
the
character.
yeah. For LARP, if you
Whole
hold your
fingers
cross
crossed thing.
this one.
Yeah. Oh, so you go Kriddles
I
for it, huh?
honestly think that Henri would think that Doug's part of that unit. So like he's probably just thinks.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That's fair.
I mean, if he's with
far as
them,
I know-
sure, he can come. But I mean, if he's not, I'm not going to purposely
doesn't-
extend an additional invitation to him.
He does not need to come. I am not saying. I did that. No, I mean, I am not calling up Robert and say, "Hey, come and bring Zachary to this new party." No, but Zachary is definitely not on the no, as you would say.
Who's this Zachary person?
Oh, he's my new apprentice.
Oh, you're an apprentice. That's
I have
lovely.
an apprentice. He is working on. He's making very shitty boots right now. A very shitty a purse and a belt. And I started to teach him how to make boots. So I am going to come clear on my promise to you to make you a new pair of boots.
Well, I've got time.
I need to discuss finances with you later. I don't think this is the appropriate time to talk about finances, but I need to talk about that as well.
All right. But you got an apprentice. That's wonderful.
We have been looking. He worked with the Renaissance Festival. He's been trained by someone else. He has talent. He does. Just trying to learn what his true ability is, and we'll see where we can go from there. I think it would be, if he has true skill, I would take him on as another ghoul. So we shall see where it goes.
Excellent.
Good luck with that. Sounds like he shows some promise.
He does. He does.
So Susan just says that they'll be there in about 20.
Okay.
I would really, as I look at Malcolm, I go, I would really like to talk to someone here. I not spent a whole lot of time around the Giovanni. You are good with the dead. I would like to talk to someone that would like to appreciate conversating about so the keeping of the dead bodies or do you know what I'm saying?
So cadaver handling.
Cadaver handling and keeping mummification along that lines.
Oh, of course. And what was it that you needed to know?
Are you the man to talk to?
I am one of the men to talk to, yes.
My conversation with you probably would not be well with the ladies.
Oh,
and even with
of course.
his current state is, he may not appreciate as well. So the intimacy of working with the cadaver. There's just a conversation. Someone that understands.
Then why don't you stop by the Cedar House sometime? I'm sure we can fit you into some sort of schedule, and I'm happy to answer whatever questions you might have.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
And within, a few more moments, another car pulls up, and Jimmy and the bouncer out front, look them over before they, they're allowed in, and it's Jill, Stephanie, and Susan all come walking in.
We'll motion them over.
Jill looks very much like 80s, almost early 90s Drew Barrymore in a sense. Just denim coat, denim pants, stonewashed sort of look. Just casual. Stephanie looks like she's clearly gotten used to walking now. She's a little bit more slender than when you saw her last. She's obviously getting used to using her whole body instead of just the upper half. She is just dressed in kind of business casual, kind of long brown hair. And then Susan obviously is looking a little bit more pale than the others. Susan's hair right now is actually kind of a dark red. Looks like they probably colored it. Otherwise, she's wearing a Anthrax t-shirt and looks like some jeans that have got holes in the kneecaps.
And then Susan's pretty dope. Remember, she's an ex-Marine, and so she's got, she's just
good.
She was buff when she was alive in the first place. So,
Well, she'll motion over to Susan and the group and kind of motion them over, and motion to Jill and Susan. It's like, hey, go get a drink too. She'll motion to the bar.
Okay, they go wandering over, and then Malcolm flags the bartender down for specifically for Stephanie.
have we met Jill?
Jill hasn't really been around since the initial attack. She's kind of been just hiding out with the rest of them. So
I think we encountered her the night of the attack. She was almost dead, just like everybody else. But
Oh, right, you're right.
but I don't think anybody's seen her since then.
yeah, she's kind of been keeping her head low with everything that's gone on.
She's had a little trauma to deal
Just
with,
a little.
and council hasn't been a super great experience for her, as I recall.
So Susan comes walking back up after she's got something to drink. She's like, "So what's up?"
I mean, just thought you would like to enjoy a party.
Oh, okay.
It's a little different for you. I mean,
Yeah, I wouldn't normally
I know
come
you
to
don't get to
some
go out
place like
much.
this, but it's fine.
Well,
Stephanie
glad
clearly
you showed
seems
up.
to be more interested, in this than the other stuff. Jill is just kind of keeping to herself.
yeah, not surprised.
I want to appear to be charming for these new girls, just like
Okay.
Ashante. And I'm not trying to hit on them, but I'm just trying to
Oh,
appear to be Mr. Suave. So
I forgot, ladies. This is Henri.
so
Henri, this is Susan, my child, Stephanie, and Joe.
I think we have met the first encounter evening. We were in the small the home of Sophie. I think it was Sophie's home. It's when we all got together, and we were some. Jill, you were in very bad shape that evening. Do you remember? I do
She-
remember you.
She just nods, but doesn't really meet anybody's gaze or anything. She's just kind of very, very reserved.
And then Susan and Stephanie might saying like it's so good to see you again. You're doing well. You look fantastic. So I'm gonna do I don't know what charisma performance. I just want to impress the hell out of these girls.
Sure,
just
go ahead.
being all,
P.S. Henri, what do you look like right now?
huh? Oh, I do my Marcel.
Okay.
Okay.
You're not bringing out the Trudeau tonight. That's something we forgot to tell
Or the-
you.
Or the true Henri?
During when we went to go meet the prince, Henri was like, "Oh, he made himself look like Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah." And the former prince was giving us like crap about it.
And I just look like him. It's just because I look like him, it does not mean I am him. All right, I have a difficulty 6. I have 2 successes.
Okay. So, you've clearly gotten their attention. Jill is still very reserved, not really dealing with crowds well. She tends to stay closer to Stephanie. Susan, however, doesn't really seem to mind much of anything. She's probably the most forward of the trio. It's like, so Henri, that's like what, French? French
Wait.
Canadian?
No, I am from France.
Okay, cool. So who's the suit? And she said, like, with a flip of her head over towards Remus.
This is Remus. He's and Trudy as well.
Pleasure, ma'am.
I think we've technically met before. I've had a makeover.
And she stops.
Well, at least
she goes,
for
and she's like, "You were that guy that smelled.
yeah.
That's a hell of a makeover. Kudos."
Thanks.
Remus has come to care about his appearance.
Clearly, looking all GQ all of a sudden.
Yeah, I didn't smell because I didn't care about my appearance, but
Didn't you think you were undercover?
That's how I like to think of it. I was hunting, camouflage.
Oh, so that was what? Doe urine?
I mean, whose urine? I don't pee. I don't know whose urine I smelled like.
I think it was.
I didn't go around.
But that's what hunters do when they're hunting. They put doe urine like on their shoes and whatnot.
That was
gross.
Were you hunting transients?
No, I was among the transients, getting the people who were hunting them.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
why
you might have wanted to lead with that because
I can tell you firsthand that was human urine. There's a distinct smell between human urine and animal urine. There's a distinct difference.
I was not collecting urine to. No, I was pretending to be homeless in order to kill people that were preying upon the homeless. Yeah, it was not I wasn't covered in urine. It's just dirty.
Did
No,
it
it was
Okay,
good. We
well.
loved it. It was truly. I mean, and I have
I
not
don't
come
know
up
who's.
here in quite some time. So, but I do know
I
that
mean,
you were there was.
did it work?
I mean, I've been. I mean, I've killed a lot of people doing it. Not with urine though. The plan worked. It was working out pretty well before I met you guys.
Hmm.
And so then Susan leans into Damaris real quick to just to say quietly, and she says, "So I think we figured out Jill is a caitiff."
Really? How did you figure that out?
Well, she doesn't seem to have any knowledge like of any of the other clans or whatnot, and her abilities don't really match.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, okay.
She can punch hard, she can disappear, and she can actually make people kind of do what she wants them to do in a passive way.
So she's got dominate
No, that would be
or
presence.
domination.
Dominate is a force
Presence.
of will.
Sorry. Interesting. Okay.
Is
So
Jill
she's kind of like a jack of all trades.
because that conversation's quiet. We don't hear that, right?
Right? Yeah, it's not super loud.
Yeah.
So she'll lean back and like, interesting. Well, at least we know more now than before.
Ask Susan what she can do now.
So Susan,
Yeah.
what about you? What can you do now?
Oh, well, I mean, I've got greater than normal strength, but I already had that. I
It
just
didn't come
don't.
from me.
I just don't need the blood infusions like Bear used to give me to keep it. I can talk to people, and they kind of do what do. I'm not as good as Jill because I'm not really a people person. I'd rather punch him. He says, but in a pinch, they sometimes they seem I don't know, amicable, I guess. That's all I've figured out so far.
Have you what have you practiced so far? Have you you said you like to punch. I mean, that was definitely Bear's thing.
Yeah.
But what about any other kind of affinities have you developed?
None that I know of right now. To be honest, I haven't really been trying a whole lot. And that's primarily because everybody else wants to stay at home.
Oh, that needs to change. Okay. So you and I feel like and Jill probably need to spend some time practicing your abilities and getting those developed. Then.
Okay. Just as a heads up, Jill still wakes up at night about whatever that Golding thing was.
But whatever the what was? Sorry, I didn't hear you out of
The
character.
Golding thing? What? She had some friend. She keeps mentioning something about her friends and gold. But whatever
So she
it was,
wakes
it
up
was
at night
terrifying.
asking about gold?
No, it's terrifying her. She wakes up, in the middle of the night screaming sometimes.
So she has nightmares.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
When you say middle of the night, you mean middle of her day.
Yeah, right. Sorry. Still kind of getting adjusted to that
That's understandable.
thing.
Well, based on what she's been through, I can understand why she'd have night terrors. Well, hopefully we can help that too. But I think it's time that Jill and you probably take up some lessons at this point.
Okay.
What, Brittany?
Do you think Dominate would be able to help with that?
What, the terrorist? I don't know. I don't know. I don't have that ability, so I wouldn't know.
Do you,
I'd even suggest
do you have
that.
Forgetful Mind?
I do. I do.
So
I'm-
maybe.
But I don't want to hurt her.
Yeah, she's been through kind of a lot. Like I remember the ordeal that she went through. That might be something she might be open to if she's experiencing something like that. But this should be her decision.
Let me read about that real quick.
So while you're doing that, we'll go ahead and hit pause here because we just passed a full 3 hours of gaming.
Right.
So good deal. So thank you guys all for tuning in, past and present. And of course, thank you for dealing with some of the Twitch glitches and whatnot. The recording went fine, and I didn't have any issues hearing or seeing anybody. So that's why I knew it had something to do with either Twitch or streaming to Facebook, because we're doing both at the same time. So our next vampire game will then be March the 5th. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So our next game coming up is Cyberpunk, which is tomorrow, which is the 20th. That's going to kick off at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Then we have our Changing Breed game on the 22nd. And then we have Mass Effect again on the 24th. So if anybody wants to tune in for those, please feel free to do so. We're going to go ahead and sign out from here on out. Thank you guys again for watching, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Good night.